This is Kathy from Gadgets Top 321, and in today's video I'm going to be unboxing some ink samples that I ordered from Goulet Pens. I've been having a good time this summer doing writing samples with lots of ink samples, different brands that I haven't tried before. And so today I'm going to unbox these samples and I'm going to do some quick ink swatches. I don't do a whole lot of ink swatches. I like to do writing tests, but I'm just impatient. I want to get in here and play with these things. So I've got my strawberry Tootsie Roll Pop. And a whole lot of ink samples. Alright. Wow. Alright. And so I'm just going to pull out an ink sample, and I've made a little sheet in my old Hobonichi. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit maybe. And I'm going to use my pocket knife for the swatches. I've got just a little bit of everything. This whole page, this side is all Noodlers, and this is just a little bit of everything. Alright, lamy tourmaline. I got lamy tourmaline and lamy amazonite. They look kind of similar. I don't know why I got two that were so similar. Now if I can reach. These are small ink samples from Goulet. I think theirs are all 2 mils maybe. So it's hard for my little pocket knife to reach. Okay, so this one was tourmaline. And these are going to be tiny little ink swatches. Maybe I shouldn't make them that tiny. Okay, well, we will practice. Now this is more green than it's showing up, and we all know that teal shows up more turquoise. Next I've got Noodler's Kung De Chang. I saw, let me see, ooh, bubble on top. I don't want it to pop on the paper. The Pen Outpost did a little ink swatch. Ooh, wow, this really sticks to the knife. And he did mention, not difficult to get that one, on the Pen Outpost, he did mention that this was a little more difficult to clean out of your pens. Alright, that's showing up pretty accurate. On the Pen Outpost, he described it as a very nice blurple. And that's what I'm seeing. But yeah, it really does. It's a sticky ink. Alright. Next, I've got Organic Studios Santiago's Sea Blue. I've never used an Organic Studios ink. They're known for their really high sheening inks, and this one appeared to be a very sheeny ink. It is a thick, it looks almost black. And wow, that is a thick ink. We'll see what that looks like when it dries. I think all I'm going to see on that is sheen. I can see a lot of red sheen already. Okay, this is Noodler's Black Swan and Australian Roses. I've wanted to try this for a long time. I guess I can let you see the inside of the cap. Let's see, and this one was, yep, it's Australian. Let's put it, I guess I'll let you see it. That's a nice one. I like that color. It's kind of a burgundy that leans a little maroon. I like that color family. All right, now we've got Noodler's Apache Sunset. Look at that. You would never guess there was much yellow to that. Well, up at the top it looks kind of yellow. Down there really looks red. Yeah, really saturated. Don't want to contaminate these samples. Make sure I'm getting this cleaned off my knife. Okay, that's a big chunk. I think that'll dry nicely. See the variation in the shade. Okay, that does remind me a lot of the lamy mango. Okay, Pilot Oroshizuku Kirasami. All right. Looks almost black. I think this is the warmer of the two gray inks. I kind of like that. I really like all of these, to be honest. Picked out inks that I've been wanting to try for a long time. All right, Diatramentus Jane Austen. I really like my Diatramentus Sherlock Holmes. I'm a fan of the Sherlock Holmes short stories. I love the short stories. They make great little bedtime stories if you've got insomnia or just like to read a little bit before you go to bed. And I like that ink. All right, Jane Austen is a green, I believe. Yeah, ooh, kind of a dark mossy hunter green. I kind of like that. That's pretty thick right there. I want it to dry before I end the video. I like that even better than I thought I would. I just got this because it was called Jane Austen. I'm a big Pride and Prejudice fan. All right, Diamine Syrah. I should have looked up how to say that. Let's see. That's a nice looking color. My sister just got some diamine inks, and she got some more that I don't have repeats of. Where did I put diamine syrup? Did I put it? Ah, right there. She got, I think she got oxblood, and what else did she say she got? I think she got oxblood and am I even on screen? Well, this is similar to Black Swan and Australian Roses. It's in that same color family. I like that. She got oxblood and, oh, ancient copper. Those are two inks I've always wanted to try, but I didn't get samples of them this time. So I'm glad she got some of the little, I think she got some of the little 30 ml bottles. She said she'd let me have some. I've got some empty sample bottles, and I'm going to give her some samples of some of my inks. Okay, here's Black Swan and English Roses. I think this one's a little less pinky. Yeah, it's got a little brown tint to it. Leans a little more, less burgundy and more of the maroon. English Roses. Yeah. I like both of those. I'm curious to see how they behave in a nib. I'm curious to see how Noodler's inks in general behave in a nib, especially my fine nibs. Alright, what else do we have? Noodler's Black. I've been testing a few black inks here lately. It's back to school time, and I'm not going to be going back to school, at least not at this point. I might go back at some point, do some substituting, but I still feel like when it's back to school time, I should get some work ink. Alright, Noodler's Black. This was, I also got, yeah, Noodler's Black. I got some X Feather. Yeah, that is a nice saturated black. I like that. All right. Trying to be extra careful here. I have never spilled ink until this past week. On 2 consecutive days, I spilled 2 vials of ink, and thank goodness I've got this wooden desk, and I thought, it's gonna stain that porous wood, but I wiped it up and didn't stain. All right, Monteverde, California Teal. Let's see, where's right here. Ooh, I like that. It's dark, but still bright. Yeah, it looks a little more blue in the viewfinder. It's a little more green in real life. It is teal. The colors of my wedding many years ago were teal, my bridesmaids' dresses and all the decorations. And it was very similar to that shade of teal. Very similar. All right. Another bag. One bag down, one more to go. Let's see. Noodler's L. Lawrence. I thought this would make a nice black substitute. A nice off black. And it looks like a sticky ink. Yeah, it really sticks to the knife. L. Lawrence, where is it? Up here. Oops. I thought it would, I don't know how to describe this. I'll have to look at it a little closer in a minute. It looks like burnt motor oil. I think maybe that's what it was supposed to look like. Maybe that's what Nathan Tardif had in mind when he designed this one. Let's see. Noodler's Rome Burning. That's a little darker in the vial than I thought it would be. That's interesting. An interesting color. Okay. And on some of the more work appropriate inks, like my darker blues and blacks and black substitutes or off blacks, I'm going to do some water tests with my Noodlers and some of the others. See how well they stand up to water. Alright, next I've got Noodler's 54th Massachusetts. I like this navy blue. This is a little different from anything I have. I've got a lot of blues. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna put a little heavy dot here if I can. Well, we'll see how that turns out. That's interesting how that's drying. I'm curious how that works in a pen. Okay, Colorverse Dark Energy. I've got a set of Colorverse inks, one of those first collector's sets that they came out with. I need to do some writing samples with those, because those sets are still available. The ones that, I forgot what the name of the set was, but it's got like Interstellar Space and Golden Record. Those are some interesting and unique inks that I've used quite a bit. Okay, so this was Dark Energy. That's an interesting one. Got some of these. I'm curious how long it's going to take these to, some of these really sheening inks, how long is it going to take them to dry? Okay, next, Sailor Manyo Kikyu. So in that first round of Manyo inks that came out, this was the only one that I wasn't able to get. And it's just a nice, really dark blue like I like. Let's see, down here. Okay, that's pretty. Someone left a comment, I think it was on the video yesterday, or they left the comment yesterday. I don't know if it was on yesterday's video, and they were asking, why shading? Why sheening? I just like the good old-fashioned dark saturated blues. But nowadays, those dark saturated blues are some of the ones that have the prettiest sheening. Okay. Noodler's Bay State Blue. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, wow, that's even brighter than I was expecting. What? And you can smell that too. Ooh, it's got a strong smell. Don't want to spill that vial. That is some bright blue. All right. Let's see. Next, I've got Noodler's X Feather. I've always been curious about that. I've watched lots of reviews of it, but until you actually write with it yourself and get it in your own pens, it's just hard to tell what you're going to think of it. Okay, I've got it spread a little thin, but it looks maybe a little less saturated than the Noodler's Black. I don't know if it's just because I spread it thinner with the knife, or... All right, let's see. Noodler's Lexington Gray. It has a nice following of fans. If I can get to it without smearing some of the other inks. It's a darker gray. It looks kind of similar to the X Feather. X Feather doesn't seem a whole lot more saturated than X Feather. Or X Feather doesn't seem a whole lot more saturated than Lexington Gray. 3 more. Lamy Amazonite. Lots of sticky inks, lots of really saturated inks. All right, it's similar to the tourmaline, and I'm sorry you guys aren't going to be able to see this. This is more turquoise, and this one's more teal. They are just slightly different, and I'm going to leave that little blob there, see if it has any... dries with any sheen. Make sure my knife is good and clean. I like both of those. They're both pretty. Oh, Roaring Klinger Alt Goldgrün. Been wanting to try that for a while. Oh, it seems like a watery ink. Which I'm thinking will make it be a nice shading ink. Maybe go good in a nice medium nib. And the last of all is Robert Oster Blue Moon. Let me see. I'm seeing some, let me see, pearlescence in there, but there's not any, I don't see shimmer. That's interesting. I am going to give it a little shake because I saw it was pearly looking. Interesting. I'm sorry, my camera got too hot and shut off when I was filming the last ink swatch. So I'm going to try to find a video editor and try to stitch these two videos together. But I'm going to give you one last look of the ink swatches. Lamy Amazonite, Colorverse Dark Energy. Oh, this one's interesting. Iroshizuku Kirasami, Diamine Syrah, Sailor Manyo Kikyu, Roaring Klinger Alt Goldgrün, Diatramentis Jane Austen, Monteverde California Teal, Robert Oster Blue Moon, Lamy Tourmaline, Organic Studio Santiago Sea Blue, Noodler's Kung De Cheng, Noodler's L. Lawrence, Noodler's X Feather, Noodler's Black Swan and English Roses, Black Swan and Australian Roses, Lexington Gray, Rome Burning, Noodler's Black, Bay State Blue, Apache Sunset, and Noodler's 54th Massachusetts. These are the inks that, or some of the inks that I'm going to be doing writing samples in the near future. If you found this video interesting, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.